All right, brother man.
Welcome, welcome, one and all, guys. We're live. We're live. Um, we're having some fun over here. You know, we're we're just pushing buttons. Making things work and not work as they do. How you guys doing? Uh, I'm just pushing all the buttons until things work. Hey guys, welcome one and all. Today's April 5th, 2022. This is episode 94 of Pop Culture Warrior, the show where I stay up to date on all the ins and outs of what's happening in pop culture so you don't have to. I'm CQ. I'm your Pop Culture Warrior, and with me as always is this guy right here. He's the real legend of this show. He's the man in the bubble, the voice of the unpop culture. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello, Mr. Radar.
Hi, Radar.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, man. I'm doing better than our tech is tonight.
Yeah.
What's up?
So, in case you haven't noticed, I'm going to make you go away for a second, Radar. Hang on a second. In case you haven't noticed, we are in the new, oh my goodness, the new Pop Culture Warrior CQ HQ, the basement of CQ's house. We are in the new location for Pop Culture Warrior. As you can see, we're not done. We're still moving in. I'll bring you back, Radar. We're still in the process of getting everything ready, but it's looking awesome. So excited for you guys to see this. It has been a dream of mine for quite a while, and it's finally come to fruition. But in doing that, I apparently didn't connect wires appropriately or something, because we're having some technical. There's gonna be no music tonight. Apologies. I'll figure that out after the fact. But
I'm gonna sing. That's what I'm gonna sing for
but
you.
in spite of music, look what I can do. It's like a game show. Welcome to the stage.
Oh, you should have that Zemo, the Zemo fucking overlay.
Hang on a second. I can do
You
it.
got that, don't you?
I can do it. Where? Damn it. Where do I?
I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Oh wait, here it is. Okay, enough of that. We're back.
I've noticed a flaw though with your new studio.
Okay.
Because I see it's a little bit dark in their view, but you have some photos and some like a wood flag and stuff. Yeah. That's where my bubble goes.
I mean, there's gonna be stuff on the sidewall here.
Are you gonna move my bubble?
I don't know. Maybe should I move the bubble?
I'll be the man without the bubble.
No, we won't take away the bubble. We might just shift the bubble. Here, let's see.
Might just move it somewhere like, I don't know, less important.
Yeah, hang on. Let's see. We're doing this on the fly.
God,
so
we are so bad at this.
Speak for yourself. Here he goes. There he goes, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, he's off to the races. There goes Radar. We're gonna move that a little bit faster. There you go. I'm gonna give you a little boost. What about right there? How's that? How do you feel there, Radar?
It's kind of in front of your face.
Is it?
There, it's over. That's better. And then I'm covering up all the I almost said artifacts. Like it's a fucking museum.
These are the artifacts.
I'm covering up the artifacts.
The artifacts of nerddom. Yeah. Well, we'll figure it out.
Maybe we'll change it. We'll change it. I love it.
You're gonna be a square. You're gonna
be
a rectangle.
No. Yeah, but I mean, like sometimes you like move me down. You can move me up. You can move me around. You can move wherever.
Yeah.
So that way you can still display your artifacts.
I could slide you. I have to take away the CQ though. You kind of on my shoulder. I don't know. It's weird. I feel like I'm talking down to you now. We're not at the same level.
Everyone does. Everyone does. Don't worry about it. Everyone talks on the radar.
I feel like we're not
straight down.
This way, I feel like we're on the same level.
Mm-hmm.
I might have to shrink your bubble just a bit though.
Again, not surprising. A lot of people like to burst.
I might have to burst your bubble.
Try that.
Yeah. Anyway, so this is all new. This is all exciting.
This is new.
Shout out. Hey guys, thank you for tuning in. Quick shout out to all those that are watching. Hey Pete, hey Mike, Jim, Steven, as always, a fine penis to you as well. Kaz, what's up? Joe, Andres, Heath. Oh man, Heath, you're the best, man. You're always around. I appreciate you. Everybody in the chats doing awesome things. God got. All right. That's a new name. I haven't seen that one before. Anyway.
I was thinking about this as you were talking. This is rather fitting.
Okay.
We cannot have a new anything without new problems. New show, new problems.
I can't do things without
new
breaking
problems.
Other things.
New bench, new studio, new problems.
Yeah.
So
which what I'm doing this show from right now is a temporary solution because I ordered a nice desk to do the show from. It is literally like one of those plastic folding tables right now.
You should have said words, dude. I'd have made you a desk. I made my own desk.
Ooh. I mean, what do you do? Make it and then what? Mail it to me?
Yeah, something.
A
It's
couple
fine.
$1,000. Anyway,
No, I would have put it in an Amazon box. It'd been like fucking $5.99.
was that what the USPS has like that? If it fits, it ships.
Yes, the flat rate box.
You just get a really big flat rate
Just get
box.
like 30 of them and tape them all together and shit. Like it'll fine. It's fine.
Yeah, it fit. It fit.
New toilet paper, new problems, right? New
Yeah.
toilet paper does cause new problems. If it's too doughy, then you get berries, and if it's too not doughy, then you get hemorrhoids or something.
Yeah.
You
So
get
and forgive me, guys. I'm a little bit under the weather, but I'm so excited. I'm so excited to be in the new studio for who we have on our guest tonight. I mean, so much, so much. I'm so excited. I wasn't gonna let anything stop me, even technical issues. But I feel terrible. So I feel like
I
just
did last week.
mm,
It was like the world's worst sinus infection. It was horrible.
yeah. I
It was
feel like a
bad.
truck backed up on my forehead right now.
Is that new COVID? Is that some? I took the COVID. I took the home nose picking test,
Yeah.
and I tried to convince my child it was a lollipop, but they would not lick it. But anyway,
Very nice.
it said
Very nice.
negative, so there was no Rona according to the at home
According to them.
pregnancy test thingy. I'm not pregnant.
Definitely not pregnant.
Definitely not pregnant. Although I built like I am and I eat like I am sometimes, so I'm not actually pregnant.
Yeah. Some really cool things I do want to share about the new studio. It's pretty cool. Obviously the background is gorgeous, changes color, does all the different things. It's built with the future in mind. So eventually I want to get like a second camera set up where I can actually
And
pivot, and there's a wall here obviously next to me, and that would be the backdrop. It's kind of like, when anchors or like late night talk shows, they kind of do the pivot and then it's like a different view. I kind of want to have that. The other thing is I do have a couch off to my side here, and
yeah.
I would love to do like set up a microphone and a camera, and I could do interviews here. I could have audience here. I could
You could
do co-host
have
here.
casting.
I
You
could
could have
cast people.
casting.
Cast people.
Yes.
But if somebody wanted to check out the show live, like literally live, they could actually come and watch, and I'd have a camera and microphone set up, like the big podcasters do, right? Like the big guys have like, comfortable setup where people can come and chill and talk and everything. And maybe fly you out here, man. We do a live co-hosting. So yeah, so that would be dope to have there.
I
Yeah,
love
so
it, dude.
I have
Let's do it.
a lot of really cool ideas.
CQ's
Yeah,
casting couch. It's already named, dude. It's already
yeah,
done, dude.
it's
You
all
might as well
right.
just get that shit embroidered in
It's all
that.
right. I gotta put some saran wrap on it though. I gotta
That could be a t-shirt idea.
CQ's
CQ's
casting couch.
casting couch.
Jesus Christ. That's what every time a person comes in to interview, hey, thanks for joining us on CQ's casting couch. I'm like, what?
Yes.
This is not the show I signed up for.
I love it.
Speaking of guests,
Oh,
tonight we have a great one, and you're gonna be impressed because I learned his name.
did ya?
You're gonna be impressed. Ready? Shayan Sobhian. That's how you pronounce the name. Shayan Sobhian. Sobhian or Sobhian? Sobhian. Anyway, close enough.
Anyway,
I'm
he'll
that
correct
close.
you.
Yeah.
Are you stuck on the couch, step radar?
Could it's like I was digging money out of the pillows and I'm stuck. I'm
Ugh.
stuck. Step radar. You guys are you guys are on fire tonight.
Oh, I love it.
Let me drink some water. I'm just terrible right now.
Dude, I was in a bad way last week. Don't even feel bad. I couldn't stand up without getting dizzy. It was bad. The only thing that got me like really off the couch was going to get a new car. Boom. Go
All right,
car.
there it is. You wanted
There
to
it
bring it
is.
up. Go
There it
ahead.
is.
Bring
The
up
little
the
green
car.
Subi. Little green Subi.
Bring up the
Well,
car.
Okay, have you tried to buy anything new lately?
All right.
Or
there it is.
used?
I mean, yeah, it's bad. It's bad out
It's
there.
horrible. It's absolutely horrible trying to get shit right
Yeah.
now, right? Like I remember we bought couches this summer and they're like, nah, you can't. No, we have these couches. These couches aren't for you though. Radar, you have to wait 6 months for a fucking couch. I was like, fuck that. I don't want to wait 6 months for a couch. But anyway, same thing with a car, dude. If you want a used car, is 10 grand more around here anyway than a new one. And I was like, that's fucking dumb. I'm not paying 10 grand more than sticker price for a 2-year-old used car. Not happening. So the guy's like, well, if you order one, suck it up, wait 6 months. And I was like, all right, I guess. And so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna wait. We were on tap to wait like 2.5, 3 months for a car.
I ordered one back in December. It still hasn't gotten here.
Well, I got basically the same car, except for this one had a couple like stupid, like the bumper guard was on it instead of not, and some other bullshit. But those people backed out of it, and they called us on Friday, and they're like, "Hey, the people backed out. Do you want it? I've got like 9 people in line. You're my first call." And I was like, "I'll be there. I'll be there in the morning. Fucking wrap it up." And so we went down there and got it. So we got a brand new Crosstrek Sport.
Very nice.
Sitting in the driveway.
Very nice.
So yeah, wasn't quite the color we wanted, and that's really about it.
And because it wasn't the color, what would you typically say?
Sorry about it.
Yay! Something works.
Hey,
some things work.
but yeah, it's we had to get a new car.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So right out the gate, we got a couple questions.
Yes.
Someone's asking, did you watch Moon Knight? I got to rewatch since my son and the dog took over, and I missed most of it. It looked great though from what I did see. So this was a week of high highs and low lows for me. So let's start off with a high, right? Moon Knight. Radar, did you see it?
No. I was going to, and I forgot. Is it her car? No, cause it's my car. I drive further, so it's my car.
All right. So we can't really dive into Moon Knight.
We can. I'll catch up.
I will say
because hold on. What did you say about it? We can talk about it. What did you say about it?
So what do I think about it?
Yeah. Did it start off quickly?
No, it didn't. It's a slow burn. But remember when we first watched WandaVision, same thing. Very slow burn, right? It had to build the suspense of what was happening. I think, they're building a world. And unlike any real Marvel property over the last like 10 years or 5 years, this is original. And this is not connected to anything else, really. There are no references to other, Marvel properties. It's its own thing for now. And for that, you need time to develop good story, good characters. It's in a whole different place. We've never really had a show outside of like Eternals, which did like the London thing. Mm-hmm. Most of the other shows and most of everything is either New York or space somewhere. So it's in a whole new location. It's totally new characters, totally new stuff. But I liked it. I liked how they play with you visually. I like how shadows move in a certain way and reflections don't reflect the way they should. And all these little nuanced things of where like it's supposed to make you feel uncomfortable. It's supposed to make you feel not at ease. And I think they did a really, really good job with it. I really do. And I'm excited for what we do next. Now, what really gets me excited is that so much of the trailers that have been out before show scenes from episode 1, which is, for me, is always a good sign. I'll give you guys a peek behind the curtains. Anytime you see a show and has all these trailers and all this cool stuff, first episode comes by, second episode comes by, and you're not recognizing a lot of stuff, that means they had to show you stuff that happens later in the show just to entice you to watch it. And you already know the best stuff that's coming. Same thing with the movies. Like when movies have to show you like so much of the action, you're like, well, I remember there's a big explosion and a motorcycle and a car chase and blah, blah. Haven't seen it in the first hour. I guess I know where this is going. So much of the first episode was the trailers. Maybe a couple scenes here and there that weren't, but I like that because it makes me feel like I don't know where this is going to go. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what to expect. And there were some amazing set pieces. There were some amazing scenes without spoiling anything. Just the kind of falling asleep and waking up in different places thing that they did and the action scenes with it. So well done, so well shot. And yeah, I'm liking it. I'm liking the show. And it wasn't as slow as a lot of people said, like, oh, it's very slow first episode. I'm like, this is a mind game kind of show. This is kind of like what WandaVision was, where it was you don't really know what's real. You don't really know what's happening. So it's a mind, mind meld kind of a show. And so I don't know. I think it's gonna get better. I think way cooler stuff that we haven't seen yet is gonna come down the line. Um, yeah, and I'm excited to see it. I personally, I don't even think we've seen the main character of the show yet. And for those that saw it would understand what I'm saying in that we know Moon Knight's based on a character who has multiple identity disorder, and we spend the whole first episode with Steven. And I think the twist is gonna be that in all the promotional stuff he was Steven, 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 Steven. I think the twist is gonna be is we're gonna see less and less of Steven as we move forward, and we're gonna see more of Mark Spector and the other identities way more. And that's what they didn't want to. They wanted to surprise us with and not show us with. So I'm excited to see how they pull it off. So in the trailer, remember you saw him like in the bathroom beating the snot out of something. It had that very like cool superhero. Like that's right in the first episode. So if that's like to me that was like the best shot of the trailer, and that's right there in the first episode. So that just tells me they got way more better stuff coming down the line, and I'm excited for it. Thoughts?
You're excited about it, dude. I
I
don't
am.
know, man. I don't know.
Watch the
I'll
first
agree with
episode.
you. I'll agree with you. It's worth a shot, dude.
If you're
I
out
still don't.
there and you saw it, let us know if you enjoyed it. Give it a rating 1 to 10, 10 being best. I know I see Corporal Nobody said I enjoyed it. Reading your comments, guys. You guys are funny. Anybody else? Anybody else? See if they enjoyed it or not. But yeah.
If you were not a Marvel fan,
Mm-hmm.
would you think it's good?
Yes.
Would you come back? Would you, if you were not a Marvel fan, or okay, let's say it's some other property,
Mm-hmm.
not even DC, not even something big.
If it was its own show,
just own show on
Netflix or whatever,
Netflix or fucking Hulu or some Amazon Prime,
I'd be fascinated. I'd be
Okay.
fascinated to see where they take
Okay.
the story.
not knowing the story,
not knowing, not knowing.
If you just popped in Tiger King, fucking out of the blue,
Yeah.
Tiger King, first episode kind of meh.
The funny thing with that, if I'm taking your logic with it,
Okay.
I would be more intrigued not knowing, because it doesn't come out that, oh, this guy's got multiple personality disorder in the first episode. You're
Right.
just seeing the ramifications. Like you're going along the ride with him. You're experiencing it as a person who's coming in and out of themselves. So it's very jarring. And if I didn't know that already, and I go, "Ooh, what's like? Is he being possessed? Is it a haunting? Is it a multiple? Like I wouldn't know, and I think I'd be more intrigued if I didn't know what the character was and if I didn't know what was going on. I think I'd be more intrigued to see what's happening.
All right.
Heath says he gives it an 8.25.
Wow.
There you go. Becky says that was very trippy. Corporal Nobody says 8 for the first episode. So there you go. Now, this is my point. You can't use if you weren't a Marvel fan. Because guess what? I am a Marvel fan. And Morbius was garbage.
Okay, fair enough. I'm just saying, like, I'm just trying to get, as a non-pop culture dude, right? As someone who's kind of in the middle now.
Sure.
Right.
Inching you closer
I feel
and closer.
obligated to watch it because of my job, because of this program. Right. And I've come to enjoy the Marvel properties and become slightly more educated than, say, the average dude off the street.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Like last night, we were watching Mankind, Story of Us, or whatever, Story of All of Us on the History Channel, right? You know who voices that? Thanos voices that.
Josh Brolin.
Josh Brolin voices is the voice actor that the narrator for that. I knew that right away, just hearing his voice. Okay. Becoming a little bit of a nerd, right? Okay.
That's Thanos.
Yeah, it was. I was like,
Don't
"What? I
trust
know
him.
that voice. I know that voice from somewhere. That's that's Thanos."
Don't
Anyway,
trust him.
I don't know. I don't know why. Can't watch the other hours of it. But anyway, okay. So how I kind of prior and even now, when I don't have anything to watch, I flip through things, right?
Sure.
And I might watch the first episode of something, and if I like it, if I'm intrigued by it, if I like it, if whatever, continue to watch it.
Yeah.
Jennifer Jones, same thing. I watched the first couple episodes one night. We're just flipping through it, and liked it enough. I watched a couple seasons of it. I watched like 2.5 seasons of it.
Jessica Jones?
Yeah, whatever. It was a fucking
Making
while
sure,
ago.
making sure I wasn't thinking of
Remember
something
the
wrong.
one that was on Netflix that was
Yeah.
mildly good? The skinny girl.
Joe says, Moon Knight left me with more questions that I want to see answered than Eternals and Shang-Chi did. I liked it better than Loki. So there you go. Now I dug this up. The Moon Knight premiere episode, which was released last Wednesday by Disney Plus, second biggest debut episode of any Marvel Studios TV series to date, making it more viewed than Hawkeye, more viewed than WandaVision, all that. This is according to Samba TV's latest numbers, and I'll explain what Samba TV is. But Moon Knight's premiere was viewed by 1.8 million households in the United States over its first 5 days, 20% higher than the premiere of most recent studios series, Hawkeye, which was viewed 1.5 million in the same span. The only Marvel show to top Moon Knight to this point is Loki, which had a 2.5 million households in the opening frame. Now, we got to compare apples to apples because Loki's built off of 10 years of Marvel products, where Loki was the culmination of that timeline, basically. Whereas Moon Knight's coming in out the gate, original IP, right? He's never been touched on. It's a completely new story, completely new setting, everything. So for it to be the second highest debut, I think a lot of people like it. I think a lot of people were either excited for it or the word of mouth got people excited for it. Now,
I would be curious, and I'm gonna shoot this down a little bit. I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna be the fucking bearer of realistic news here.
Okay.
Okay. I think Loki. Yes, it was the culmination of that. The first. Okay,
Sure.
we're not gonna argue that. WandaVision was the first. Okay. WandaVision was the first of these Disney Plus shows that kind of came out.
Yep.
Not kind of came out, came the fuck out. And no one really thought, no one knew what to think about WandaVision when it first came out. We're like, what the fuck is this? This sounds dumb as shit, right? Now, that came out to it was well received. WandaVision was well received, especially towards the end of it. And they really pushed Loki. Right? They're like, hey, Loki's coming. Loki's coming. We gotta watch Loki. Loki's be good as shit. What? Hey, everyone, guess what? Loki's coming. So there was a lot of buzz around Loki when it first came out. Okay? There really was.
Yeah.
And then we kind of got boom, 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 boom. Right. Fucking, it seemed like as soon as one was ended, one was beginning. With Disney Plus shows, right? Now we've had this kind of lull a little bit from Hawkeye to now. And we've had a chance to kind of cool our jets a little bit, not be so overwhelmed. To take all the other stuff in. And I think a lot of people are ready for a new. We really haven't. I mean, I guess we had Morbius come out. Are we going to talk about that? We're not. Just whatever. We really haven't. We haven't had a big release. Batman, but on the Marvel end since Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Right.
So, the nerds and the people who really enjoy this sort of content,
our fans,
have had a chance to really they're excited to bring in new material. Okay. It's not so inundating. It's not so, like I said, what was it? Was it even 2 weeks? I think it was 2 weeks between Falcon and Winter Soldier and Loki, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think something like that, yeah.
I mean, it seemed like it was really quick. And then What If was right after that. It was just boom, boom, boom. And then it kind of slowed down a little bit. But I'm not saying that I don't think it deserves a props. I'm not saying that because I haven't seen it. I'm just kind of curious if the second week is going to be as big.
I guess we'll see. Now, I did want to mention that there's the caveat to this, is that because we talked about, I said Samba TV, it measures viewership on specifically enabled smart TVs in over 3 million households. So
that's a hard metric.
That's what I'm saying. If you look at it, that means literally half of the TVs that they have access to measure were watching that show.
Mm-hmm.
If 1.5 out of the 3 million households that it watches, now that does not obviously, like, we have to see the ratings like down the line of the big ratings, but this was just kind of a snapshot of Samba TV has the ability to see what people are watching if you enable it in your TV. So of the 3 million that have enabled it across the country, 1.5 were watching this show. That's 50%. I mean, however you slice it, 50% of
Yeah.
the populace that have allowed them to monitor their viewing habits were watching this show in the first 5
I'm
days.
curious. That's an interesting. That's an interesting. Yeah, it's an interesting metric because I wonder, like, that brings in a whole different
Mm-hmm.
younger
Yep.
viewers.
Tech savvy.
More younger tech
Mhm.
savvy viewers will be more apt to let
Less
somebody
paranoid.
monitor. Yep, exactly. I mean, even me, dude, I ain't let no one watch my shit. And you talk about people like I'm very I'm very median. I think I'm the median. I'm not
Not left,
super
not right.
affluent. I'm not super poor. I'm
Yeah.
not super old. I'm not super young. I'm very much middle of the road.
Yeah.
Right? I'm educated, but I'm not a genius and I'm not retarded.
Most pop cultured, unpop cultured guy.
I'm the most unpop cultured person in the world, which is why I'm here.
Right.
But I mean, God, I don't know. Because the younger people that were honestly, Marvel does go towards the younger audience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I wonder. I
So-
wonder how much that makes a difference.
It's interesting.
Either way,
yeah.
I'm not arguing that it's not unpopular. I'm not saying that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just curious.
Yeah. But it also, when you think about, I bring back the other thing, out of the 3 million homes they're watching, 2.5 million of them were watching Loki in the first 5 days.
That's true.
That's a startling number of the populace. Like, obviously it's a sample size, but it's still a startling number, really.
I wonder how many. If you were to take something like what's an old person show?
Matlock.
No,
Like,
can't
on
say
the
that
air,
anymore.
on the air currently.
Yeah. What do old people watch? The news? Other than the news. The news sucks. We're not talking about the news.
Fishing Channel. I don't know.
Golf, maybe.
History Channel.
No, that's all aliens and shit.
After a certain hour, yeah.
Actually, you know what? My parents watch Big Brother. That's what their vice is. And my
Okay.
parents are old. So Big Brother. Big Brother.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder, like, compared to something like that. To a Big Brother or to a, you know what I mean?
Sure.
On the same thing.
Yeah.
And then something very young, like a Cocomelon or fucking some shit like that. Because hear me out. Young families are going to have young babies who watch Cocomelon.
Sure.
So you're going to have people who are late 20s, early 30s.
Mm-hmm.
Scott, I'm not going to say reruns, and this is why. Because kids, my children's age, teenagers, have really taken to some of those 80s fucking Murder, She Wrote and NYPD Blue, shit like that. They've really started watching these old MacGyver, fucking MacGyver. My stepson was like, "Dad, do you know who MacGyver is?" I'm like, "Yeah, I know who MacGyver is. What the fuck are you? Where you been?"
I know like 3
Alf?
different MacGyvers.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Alf. They're watching Alf. They're watching all kinds of old fucking shit now that because I don't know, they ran out of their own things to watch, so they have to appropriate hours.
Technically, Friends is now 20 years old.
Yes,
So
and my daughters watch it.
yeah.
My 16-year-old daughter is watching Friends currently, probably at this very moment.
Joe says his kids watch MASH with him.
Yep.
That's an old show. That is old.
I mean, so there's Roseanne, like Saved by the
Original.
Bell, like all these old. So it's hard to say that reruns are something for old people because the kids have really Knight Rider. Yeah, there's like people were wearing Knight Rider T-shirts and shit at the mall earlier. I was like, this is ridiculous. Britney Spears. I almost bought a Britney Spears T-shirt to wear on the air. Pretty bitch.
Oh man.
See?
Yeah.
So I mean, who the fuck would have thought would have been in 2021 and people would have been watching old ass Matlock episodes and shit.
So let's talk about for a second before we get to our guest. Morbius. I'm
Uh,
curious how many of you out there saw it. Let me know if you saw Morbius in theaters this weekend or over the last week. I mean, I can't say that I'm surprised.
how mad would you have been if I went and watched that
I'd be surprised. I wouldn't be mad.
after not
I'd be
watching Moon Knight?
I'd be disappointed. I'd be disappointed that you chose to watch Morbius over Moon Knight for sure. If you consciously made the decision to watch one over the other, I'd have been disappointed. I won't be mad. I'll be disappointed. No, yeah. Uh, what to say about it? What to say about it? I'm starting to feel that Jared Leto is an incredible actor, but you ever have someone, let's say you know someone who is a phenomenal 5-star Michelin chef cook level cook, right? And you're like, all right, let me just, I want some chicken nuggets or I want a burger or something. And they just go so over the top that it's like it disgusts you. You don't want that thing. I feel like that's how Jared Leto is as an actor. Like he's an incredibly accomplished method actor who does so well in all of his different works. But when he applies that methodology to comic book properties, it's not what we want. I was disappointed. I was very disappointed. And honestly, I had very low expectations for the movie. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not a terrible movie. There are some terrible movies out there, but it's not a good movie by any stretch of the imagination. One critic, literally, the comments, well, the title was Morbius is a superhero vampire movie that really sucks. You see the wordplay there? Because, you know, he's a vampire. He sucks.
Yo, I saw it.
Um, but yeah, and you know, the director Daniel Espinosa has done some really cool stuff. I mean, he did this movie um, called Life, and that was with Ryan Reynolds and Jake Gyllenhaal, which is great. It's like the Venom prequel, basically. They find this black ooze in space, and then it like kills everybody. Um, and that was a great movie. It was different. It was unique. Different. Um, but the fact right now, Morbius has a 16% on Rotten Tomatoes. 16. Uh, it still won the weekend, making $84 million worldwide, which 39 of that was was domestically, about 4,000 theaters domestically, despite it being just destroyed in the press. Every review, I mean, there are guys like I watch on TikTok or YouTube that are like more diehard fans of Marvel properties than I am, and will find the nicest thing to say about anything. And these guys are basically just like, just don't. It wasn't good. Like it just it hurt. You can see it physically hurts them to be negative about a Marvel movie, and they're just like, it's not good. It's really
It's
not
not good.
good.
Just don't. You
Just
don't
don't.
want it.
Yeah.
You don't want this, dude.
So you got to think it got a lower. You know, Venom Let There Be Carnage, which I mean had its own issues. That has a 58% on Rotten Tomatoes. Amazing Spider-Man 2, which everybody hated, has a 51% on Rotten Tomatoes. So for it to be a fraction of those movies, which were kind of critically bombed and very few people really found a soft spot for those movies, I mean, that's saying something. That's really saying something. Um, uh, Mike asks, are we gonna do Would You Eat It? So this is true. This is a true story. We were gonna do it last week, do the Would You Eat It segment, and we touched on it a little bit. We did one or two. Somehow, and I don't know, in the process of moving my technology into the new studio, my notes for Would You Eat It vanished. And it's not a piece of paper. Freaking Microsoft Word, nope, you know, workbook, all my notes. It doesn't exist. I even went into like recently opened items. I went to like recently deleted items. It just doesn't exist. The notes from last week's show don't exist. I save all my notes from all the shows if I ever want to go back and review something or whatever. And it just doesn't exist. So I don't know I don't know why, but it's it is what it is. Um,
It is what it is.
yeah. So we'll get to it. I still have all the things I know what I want to talk about, but I don't have the notes currently. So I read because I was curious. The director, like, how do you respond to a lot of these negative reviews? So in a new interview with Insider, um, he says, this is a direct quote. When I did my first feature, it was a small movie called Babylon Disease. I remember one day going home on the subway. I had a few drinks, so I was a bit drunk. Someone nudged me on the train and said, I have to tell you what's wrong with this scene in your movie. And I was like, well, okay. The point I'm making, this is guys, you can already see his storytelling ability. The point I'm making is that it's a strange thing to make something that is so public. He added, look, I have a lot of self hatred, so I have a lot of criticism of my own work. I'm always trying to focus on on being better, but I'm also so proud of what I do. There are parts in all of my movies that I'm really proud of. That's his comment about the reviews coming in for his movie. Now, least we forget, and a small part of me wants to give it a little bit of a break because this reason. This movie was filmed in 2019. Okay.
Okay.
Obviously, the pandemic did it no favors,
Oh,
but there was so much like there's so much going against it because it's coming off the back of one of the best reviewed movies of all time. I mean, Spider-Man: No Way Home is one of the greatest, not just Spider-Man movies, superhero movies, which is a great movie. And they were forced because of delay after delay after delay after delay after delay. They were forced to shoehorn in bits and pieces of Spider-Man: No Way Home into this story to make it make sense. Remember, they shot this movie before Spider-Man even started filming. It was already done for a year before Spider-Man even started. So now for them to have to go back and feel like, well, because they did this, this, and this, we need to add this, this, and this to the movie. Did that cause it to completely
no.
shit the bed? I think it's part of it. I think it does play a part. It does play a factor. But do I think it was a crap movie to begin with? Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some crazy stories coming out of it, which I always feel is very telling when you have like a movie does badly and all of a sudden these rumors and these legends start coming out of it and like it's like wow, the people really want to talk. So apparently Jared Leto was such a method actor, right? For most of the movie he's in crutches, or not most of the movie, but for a good chunk of the movie he's in crutches. He was such a method actor that even in between takes, he would stay on the crutches. He would still act as if he were this his body was all jacked up and spine was all messed up. So they said he would take 45-minute bathroom breaks because he would literally go off set in the crutches and use the bathroom in the crutches and like even alone privately in the bathroom was acting as if he had this physical disability. And while like, all right, kudos, you stayed in character. I don't know. I don't feel like that's conducive to yeah, Leon, you're right. They said it got so bad to a point that the cast would give him a wheelchair just to move him from place to place faster. And I don't know, I don't feel like that's conducive to uh uh I don't know, a working environment, right? A professional environment where you know, and the director was like, look, everybody has their process, whatever. Um, I don't know, man. It's disappointing. I wanted it to be good. I want it to be good, and you can
Did you
see.
you were really wanting it. You were.
I wanted it. I wanted it to be good. I wanted it to be good,
Even at
and
the first hints that it might not be good, you're like, "Nah, it's still gonna be good. I got this, man. It's still gonna be good." And you're like, "Well, is it gonna be good?" You're like,
uh,
"Ah," and then like 2 weeks ago, you're like, "Dude, I don't know if it's gonna be any good.
yeah.
I'm afraid it's not gonna be any good."
It when for me the first red flag is when the trailers start coming out. The first trailer like give you the most stuff to get you the most hyped about, and then when the next trailer comes out and it's mostly the same scenes, and then the next trailer comes out and it's mostly the same scenes, you're going like, oh, they don't have anything else to show. Like they don't like if you've watched the last 5 Doctor Strange trailers, they're all different,
Mhm.
and you're like, wow, what the fuck is this movie?
Yeah,
This is
when's Doctor
awesome.
Strange coming out? I'm more interested in that.
That's May, I think. Yeah.
Fuck. Really? I guess it is April already, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
it's snowing again.
Yeah. Scott says, how do method actors choose to behave outside of scenes if they have different character types, like one being a vampire versus a cripple? Does he act like a vampire after the vampire scenes? I like that. I would love to see that. They're like, listen, if you think the bathroom thing was bad, when he was filming scenes of him and the vampire, he was literally hopping on people and biting them in the neck,
You
trying to
did not wanna
suck
see
their blood.
catering.
Oh
Catering was not
man.
not impressive that day, it was bad.
Yeah. Lewis, you're right. He said there were no, and this is referring to the trailers and things, no other hype moments to even share. They blew their whole load on the first trailer, which is again, that's I don't know. If that's the best you have in the movie, I don't know, man. I'm just
I don't know, dude,
it was disappointing.
it
That's all I'm gonna say.
was. And that's why I say, like, I don't know, dude, I really think that Sony needs to, like, do something else with Marvel
But
Studios
they're
again
not
and just
going to. Because here's the thing, even with it critically panned, even with us shit talking it, it's gonna make its money and some, and they're gonna be like, success. They'll be like, good enough. We'll get it right next time. Right? That's what they did with Venom. Venom came out and it was like, it's okay, and they're like, hey, it made its money. We'll get them next time. And like that's how they're treating this stuff. Like it's a throwing at a dartboard. Hey, let's see what sticks. Right? Instead of the carefully, methodically built out vision that Marvel has, MCU, like they're just like, okay, let's maybe this will work, and they're just throwing it out there, and then and they're shoehorn like I can feel it. They're shoehorning into this universe where they're going to build up to the Sinister Six, and it's like you gotta. This is what happened with the DC universe. It doesn't matter if you're building to this awesome epic moment if all the building blocks below it are just crap.
yeah, the foundation is garbage.
Marvel, man. Like and don't get me wrong, there were movies where they stumbled, man. Thor 2 and some other ones jump to mind when they were like, they were okay. But at no point did it ever cut to the point where you're like, you watch a movie, you go, I want to get off at this exit. I'm done with the MCU.
Mhm.
Like at no
Yep.
point. Where with like the DC universe and this stuff, it's like, man, it's like every movie you're just like, not again. Not again. God damn it, not again. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I just
I hear you, brother. I hear you, man. I just don't know, dude. Like I said, if they but I guess I don't, and this is where I don't know the ins and outs of the industry and all the things, but okay, it made its money. You said that it made its money,
yeah,
but
it'll make
how
money.
much more money did Spider-Man No Way
Oh my
Home
god.
make? You
Damn
know what
near
I
the
mean?
most
Like,
money of any
so,
movie ever.
but that's what I mean. If you
Wow.
combine the two, license it to Marvel Studios, let them fucking make it right. Let them make that money. Y'all rich together. Y'all rich together. You just
I don't. Here's the thing. So real quick
pimp that shit out.
before we call it a break, I don't think Sony wants to give up a piece of what they think is a piece of the pie, even though they
But they
make
don't gotta
more
give it
money.
up. They
Right.
don't got to they make the money off it. You're not giving the pie away. You're
Right.
okay. Think gas station donuts. Okay, you could put a fry in the back of every shitty ass gas station and make gross ass donuts, or you can buy the little Krispy Kremes in the box. Krispy Kreme makes them, but you get to cut some money. Everyone can at least happy, including your customers.
I don't think Marvel even wants to like Marvel got what they wanted. They wanted to play with Spider-Man. I don't think Marvel, the MCU, wants to dive into those like obviously if they had those characters, they would pull them in, they would weave it into the story and all this and all that. I don't think Marvel wants to help Sony outside of Spider-Man, that connection, right? I don't think Marvel wants them to fail because it's like, we'll go ahead, we'll sell them, we'll take them.
They can get them.
They've already tried to. There was a really cool meme that actually is kind of true, which is they're like, well, how much for Spider-Man? And they're like, well, we're not going to sell it. Like, all right, how much for Sony? like we'll just buy your studio like we did with Fox. I mean, there's rumor that they've put in bids to buy Sony. They would own Fox and Sony, but which I'm sure would cause a freaking uproar in Hollywood, them owning everybody. But anyway, yeah, it's not going to happen. But all right, guys, we're gonna take a break, and when we come back, we have Shayan Sobhian joining us tonight. I got this. I did. That was good. Shayan Sobhian is coming on the show. You'll see. Perfect. You'll see.
I'm excited for our guest.
Yeah, he's great. He's
you know why I'm excited for our guest? I want him to say his name.
I'm like, listen, dude, you're gonna need to introduce yourself on this one.
All right, sorry about it, because I am not good at this name thing.
No, I'm not gonna mess it up. Stop it.
I hope not.
Come on, cheer me on. All right, guys, we're gonna go to a short break. We'll be right back after this. There's no music. Sorry.
Oh, no shots.
Shots.